Sabrina Carpenter has a new album coming out next month, so I guess I should have waited to make this video. But here are my Sabrina Carpenter inspired movie recommendations. If you've seen her nonsense outros, you know she's always rhyming these playful, cheeky double entendres and puns that some people think are too salacious. So I want to start off by saying I think Sabrina Carpenter would love dick. I'm not just saying that because of the double meaning, which is definitely implied in her music, but I think the movie Dick is the epitome of her vibe. It's cute, fun, and feminine, and everyone underestimates the main characters in this movie and acts like they're just ditzy blondes. But the movie proves that they can defy those dumb blonde stereotypes, and that's how I feel about Sabrina Carpenter's music. Some of her songs are just silly and bubbly, but she knows exactly what she's doing. Her catchiest songs are like the musical equivalent of candy. They're not the healthiest for you because they're not the most intellectually stimulating, but if you listen to nothing but super serious music all the time, where's the fun in that? And there are plenty of people who have a sweet tooth. Even if you don't, sometimes you're just craving something sweet. That's also how I feel about romantic comedies. Sometimes you just want to shut off your brain for a bit and enjoy something light and fun. And I love when people comment on videos of her performing and say things like, "What is this nonsense? You call this music? These lyrics are stupid." And everyone's like, the song is literally called Nonsense. She even says it's stupid. That's the whole point. Speaking of blonde stereotypes, I think Gentlemen Prefer Blondes fits the vibe. And it comes to mind when I hear the song Diamonds Are Forever because of the song Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend in the movie. Legally Blonde also comes to mind because of the whole people underestimating a woman for being girly thing, but also because it depicts some drama between two women over a man who isn't good enough for either of them. And the music video for Sue Me seems inspired by this movie. Clueless also comes to mind for similar reasons. And while I'm at it, another Amy Heckerling movie that comes to mind is Fast Times at Ridgemont High because Sabrina has a song called Fast Times. But the music video for Fast Times seems to be inspired by Charlie's Angels and Kill Bill. Speaking of Kill Bill, the director of the Please 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 music video mentioned it was a reference along with Reservoir Dogs. And the font in the music video is reminiscent of Pulp Fiction. But there's another movie that was written by Quentin Tarantino that he didn't direct that feels closer to the style of the Please 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 music video, whether it was intentional or not, and that's True Romance. While I'm on a roll with Tarantino, he wrote the story for Natural Born Killers, which was also mentioned as a reference for the Please 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 music video. Sid and Nancy also influenced the music video, but I was thinking more of Bonnie and Clyde. Barry Keoghan's outfits in the music video were inspired by Goodfellas, and Sabrina's outfits remind me of Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface and Shirley MacLaine in What a Way to Go. Thelma and Louise is another movie that was an influence on that music video, plus the depiction of female friendship reminds me of the song Seamless. I'm surprised Crybaby wasn't a reference because that's another movie I thought of when I saw the music video. I love how unapologetically sexual some of Sabrina Carpenter's songs are, because I've seen so many pop stars who got famous when they were young struggle with the transition to adulthood because the media starts sexualizing them, but parents want them to maintain a wholesome image if their child is a fan. And it feels like so many people are okay with sexualizing women if they don't consent to it, but if the woman sexualizes herself, suddenly she's vile and gets called every name in the book. So I love when women are owning their sexuality in their music, and that makes me think of movies like Turn Me On, Damn It, Blockers, For a Good Time Call, The To-Do List, Yes God Yes, and Slut in a Good Way. But this one also comes to mind when I hear the song Because I Liked a Boy because characters end up slut-shaming each other. Easy A comes to mind for similar reasons. People compare the Espresso music video to Teen Beach Movie and High School Musical too, but it reminds me of the beach scenes in Barbie. I also think Barbie just fits the vibe, even though Sabrina seems like more of a Polly Pocket. I think Down with Love also matches her vibe, both narratively and aesthetically. Sabrina was in the Broadway musical adaptation of Mean Girls. She said Across the Universe is her favorite movie. Josie and the Pussycats comes to mind because I feel like she probably put subliminal messages in her music. Some of her songs are just way too catchy. And no one hates Espresso. If you tell me you hate it, I either don't believe you or you're just someone who hates fun. I gotta mention Saltburn because she's dating Barry, and one of her nonsense outros at Coachella had the line, "He's drinking my bath water like it's red wine." Obviously, Sabrina Carpenter has acted in quite a few movies, but I don't want to just recommend every movie she's ever been in. But I will say her best performance is in The Short History of the Long Road. The song's skin and the surrounding drama kind of remind me of movies like John Tucker Must Die Guy, The Other Woman, First Wives Club, and She Devil. The music video for Because I Liked a Boy kind of reminds me of Moulin Rouge, especially the costumes. At the end of the song Emails I Can't Send, she says, I mean, as they say in Chicago, he had it coming. While I'm talking about musicals, she seems like she'd be a fan of Mamma Mia. Grease comes to mind because of the opposites attract trope in the song Why, but some other movies I think of when I think of the opposites attract trope are 10 Things I Hate About You, Pretty in Pink, Pretty Woman, and Valley Girl. There were so many rom-coms and quintessential chick flicks that came to mind, but it's difficult to tie them to specific songs because multiple songs could tie to the same movie. But a few more that came to mind are Bridget Jones's Diary, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, which also comes to mind because of this dress and Kate Hudson's comment, Romeo and Michelle's high school reunion. And I'll end this list with Sabrina. I wanted to keep this one to 50 movies max, but there will be a longer list of 100 movies on my Letterboxd.